An ancient prophecy whispered across the galaxy, a tale passed down through generations of alien leaders, warned of a sleeping race, a species capable of godlike wrath in times of dire need. The legends called them the war gods, beings with an untamed potential that lay dormant until awoken by a perilous threat. Alien scholars believed the prophecy to be a mere myth, a story to keep their citizens in line. After all, such a powerful race couldn't possibly exist. Then came Earth. A seemingly insignificant blue planet, inhabited by a species that the Galactic Council viewed as weak, primitive, and divided. When the Alliance's scouts observed humanity, they saw people absorbed in daily struggles and petty wars, not the legendary war gods foretold in ancient texts. Humans were flawed, scattered, and largely indifferent to the universe beyond their atmosphere. They weren't warriors. Or so the Council believed. It was during a time of great expansion that the Alliance's leaders saw Earth as an easy target. Resources were plentiful, and there seemed to be little threat in annexing this small planet. The Alien Council convened and approved a secret invasion, a swift operation designed to take control without alerting the galaxy at large. Quietly, they deployed a fleet toward Earth, ready to claim it as a new territory, assuming humanity would submit easily to their superior power. The first signs of the invasion were subtle. Ships with advanced cloaking technology slipped through the atmosphere unnoticed, hovering above major cities. The aliens observed humans going about their lives, oblivious to the silent threat looming over them. The Council watched from afar, eager to see their forces effortlessly subjugate the inhabitants. But then, something unexpected happened. Across Earth, a ripple of energy surged, a tremor that seemed to awaken something ancient within certain humans. People from all walks of life, students, teachers, farmers, soldiers, began to experience strange visions. Some saw battles fought in ancient times, warriors clad in unfamiliar armor, wielding weapons and powers far beyond anything they knew. Others felt an overwhelming sense of strength within them, as if they had been carrying a hidden power all their lives, just waiting to emerge. Among these awakened humans was a former military commander. For years, he'd been haunted by dreams he couldn't explain, dreams of battles and victories that felt more like memories than mere fantasies. He'd dismissed them as remnants of his service, relics of a soldier's mind. But now, those dreams felt different. The visions grew stronger, clearer, showing him ancient tactics, strategies long forgotten, and weapons unlike anything humanity had ever seen. This commander wasn't the only one feeling the change. All across the planet, the chosen humans began to sense one another, as though connected by an invisible thread. They knew, without speaking, that they shared a purpose, a duty long buried but now resurfacing. The commander felt a calling, a primal instinct to gather his people, to prepare for a battle he could feel in his bones but couldn't yet see. Meanwhile, the aliens, blissfully unaware of the awakening, continued their silent infiltration. Their initial ground team landed in a secluded area, close to a human settlement. Cloaked and equipped with weapons designed to incapacitate rather than kill, the aliens moved in, intending to seize control of key locations. They were confident, certain of their victory. But as they approached their target, the ground trembled beneath their feet. From the shadows, the commander emerged, leading a small but formidable group of the newly awakened. These weren't ordinary humans anymore. They moved with a purpose, an energy that radiated power. The commander himself seemed larger than life, his presence both intimidating and awe-inspiring, as if he was channeling the spirits of warriors who had fought 1,000 battles before him. The aliens hesitated, their confidence wavering. They could sense something was different about these humans, something that set them apart from the others. But it was too late to turn back. They pressed forward, initiating their attack. The humans met them head-on, displaying speed, strength, and coordination that stunned the alien forces. What should have been an easy victory became a desperate struggle. With each passing moment, the aliens realized they were facing something beyond their understanding. The humans fought with a fury and precision that defied logic, as though guided by an unseen force. The alien leader ordered a retreat, unwilling to sacrifice more soldiers to this unexpected resistance. As they fled, they sent a transmission back to their commanders, detailing the human strength and resilience. The council received the message, their once dismissive attitude now replaced with genuine concern. In the silence that followed the aliens' retreat, the commander and his allies gathered, their victory unspoken but shared. The weight of the prophecy lingered in the air, unacknowledged but deeply felt. For they now understood, they were not merely human. They were war gods, awakened protectors of Earth, bound by a duty that spanned eons. As the last of the alien ships disappeared from the sky, the commander looked to the horizon, knowing this was only the beginning. The commander's mind buzzed with ancient memories, visions from battles long past, images he knew weren't from his life yet felt as vivid as his own memories. He recognized techniques, strategies, and instincts that surpassed anything he'd learned in modern combat. Somehow, buried within him was a warrior's knowledge, as if he were channeling the very essence of a forgotten age. And he wasn't alone. All over the world, others had been awakened. Ordinary men and women who once lived mundane lives now felt the surge of ancient power rising within them. The commander reached out to these awakened individuals, a network of minds connected by something far beyond human understanding. With each message shared, he could feel the strength of their unity, a quiet yet indomitable force. Slowly, his team grew, and from each person, he learned of their own visions, glimpses of battles, strategies, and skills they had no reason to know. Together, they began to form a new army, one that didn't rely on the weapons of the present but instead called upon the knowledge and power of a distant past. As they trained, they moved like warriors reborn, wielding their newfound abilities with surprising ease. Strength, speed, and precision flowed from them naturally, as if their bodies remembered what their minds hadn't yet fully grasped. The commander, leading with a calm yet fierce resolve, taught them to synchronize their skills, creating formations that no human army had used for millennia. Though they spoke little, each one felt a deep sense of duty and belonging, a knowledge that they were fighting for something far greater than themselves. Word of their power spread quickly, and the group grew with each passing day. They were no longer just people, they were something more, beings with an untapped potential the world had never seen. And in this new unity they found purpose, a calling that felt older than time itself. They were ready to protect Earth, to awaken as the war gods of legend. Each training session left them more attuned to their abilities and to each other, an army of legends reborn. But while humanity's forces grew, the alien alliance watched from afar, alarmed by the humans' rapid transformation. Reports of their losses in early skirmishes sent ripples of fear through their ranks. These humans were no longer weak and unprepared. The once dismissed, primitive race had risen to meet their threat with a ferocity and skill that defied all predictions. The alien leaders, once confident in their victory, began to panic, realizing they had awakened something they couldn't control. Desperate to understand the human strength, the alien coalition sent an emissary to Earth. This high-ranking official was tasked with meeting the leader of the war gods, to gauge whether these humans could be reasoned with or if their power could somehow be contained. They expected a brash, ruthless leader, perhaps one intoxicated by his newfound abilities. But what they found was the commander, a calm, disciplined presence, a man who carried his power with a quiet intensity, undeterred by their attempts at intimidation. The emissary demanded to know the source of humanity's strength. Why did these humans, who had seemed so ordinary, suddenly possess abilities that rivaled the greatest warriors in the galaxy? The commander's response was simple but powerful. "We have always been capable of this. You simply forced us to remember who we are." Unnerved, the emissary pressed further, attempting to reason with the commander. Surely, he argued, there must be a way to prevent further bloodshed, a way for the humans to avoid challenging the might of the alien alliance. But the commander's gaze remained steady. He explained that humanity's power wasn't simply in their physical abilities. It was in their unity, their resilience, and their unyielding desire to protect what they held dear. This strength, he said, came from something no weapon could conquer, their will. The emissary returned to the alien council, his confidence shaken. He reported on the human leader's resolve, his ability to inspire those around him, and his commitment to protecting his people. The council, once so certain of humanity's defeat, now faced an uncomfortable truth. They had awoken a force they could neither understand nor contain. They had unleashed humanity's hidden warriors, the very beings foretold in the prophecy. And in the days that followed, the Council could feel the fear growing within their own ranks. These humans, these so-called war gods, were unlike any enemy they had faced. They fought with a strength that came not just from their newfound powers but from something far more formidable, a spirit that refused to bow, a fire that only burned brighter in the face of adversity. The aliens had thought they were subjugating a weak race, yet they found themselves confronted by an indomitable force, one that now threatened to overturn the balance of power in the galaxy. As news of the human strength spread across the galaxy, alien leaders scrambled to understand the full extent of their own mistake. Alien intelligence agents, disguised as civilians, were sent to Earth to gather more information, infiltrating human ranks to witness firsthand what they could not grasp from reports alone. What they discovered was both unsettling and awe-inspiring. Humanity had organized into tactical units, each person seamlessly harnessing ancient abilities that were more formidable than any modern weapon. The commander's training sessions had intensified. With every passing day, he and his warriors pushed their limits, fine-tuning a balance between their newly awakened powers and their human instincts. These warriors no longer needed traditional weaponry. Their bodies moved with superhuman speed, their senses sharpened beyond normal perception, and they reacted to danger with the precision of battle-hardened veterans. Each training brought clarity to their purpose. They weren't merely defending Earth, they were reclaiming their ancestral birthright. Across their global network, the commander orchestrated the formation of specialized groups. Some focused on stealth, mastering silent movements and undetectable tracking. Others became the shield, defenders able to withstand and deflect alien weaponry. Still, others specialized in tactical strikes, their movements precise and powerful. This coordination made humanity an unstoppable force, more organized and prepared than any Earth-bound military had ever been. Under the commander's leadership, every individual understood their role, not through orders but through an almost instinctual bond that connected them all. When alien forces attempted another coordinated strike, they found themselves facing this newly honed human army. What should have been a simple operation quickly descended into chaos for the aliens, who were unprepared for the relentless assault of humanity's war gods. Each attempt to gain control over Earth's resources, to capture strategic locations, or to sabotage communications was met with brutal resistance. For the first time, the Alliance realized they were not fighting a primitive species. They were facing a legion of myth, warriors crafted from a legacy of survival and unyielding resilience. The Alliance's commanders were paralyzed by indecision. Every tactic they deployed failed, their ships crippled and ground forces overpowered. The images that came back to the council chambers told a story of devastation. Warriors who seemed to defy gravity evade energy blasts, and strike with strength that shattered their attackers. Humanity fought not just with skill but with a tenacity that shook even the most seasoned alien generals. There was no mistaking it now, they had stirred something ancient, and now they were paying the price. Seeing no other option, the Alien Council approved the deployment of a high-ranking emissary. This emissary had a dual mission, to broker peace if possible but, more importantly, to uncover the true nature of humanity's strength. Why did this species, once seen as weak, now stand as giants, their resilience and power unyielding against the might of the galaxy's most advanced civilizations? The Council hoped that this emissary, a master of diplomacy and strategy, could find a way to contain or at least understand the human's power before it became a threat beyond Earth. The emissary landed on Earth under a banner of peace and requested an audience with the commander. When they met, the emissary quickly saw that these humans possessed more than physical prowess. They held a quiet confidence, an unspoken understanding of their own potential. The commander, standing before the emissary, radiated a strength that was both terrifying and humbling. He listened to the emissary's proposals, but it was clear that humanity's resolve would not be swayed by empty promises of peace or fleeting alliances. In an attempt to find common ground, the emissary asked the commander to explain the source of humanity's strength. What had awakened them? How had they risen to become these feared war gods? The commander paused, then spoke plainly. Our strength isn't just in our power. It lies in our purpose. You threatened our home, our families, our way of life. We didn't choose this fight. You forced it upon us, and now we've remembered who we are. The emissary could feel the weight of these words, and with each passing moment, the realization grew. This species, once overlooked and underestimated, had always harbored a dormant potential. They had an ability to rise above themselves, to channel an ancient force when called upon. The commander's words were not a boast, they were a warning, a declaration of humanity's unbreakable spirit and their will to protect what they loved. Upon the emissary's return, the council was informed of the situation. The humans could not be controlled, bribed, or intimidated. They were no longer the species that had first caught the Alliance's attention. The war gods had returned, and they fought with a fury that went beyond military might. It was a battle fueled by something alien technology could not replicate: humanity's unwavering connection to each other and their world. The Alliance had ignited a spark that now blazed beyond their ability to contain. Desperation began to overtake the Council as they realized that every attempt to subjugate humanity only strengthened them further. The Alliance now faced an impossible choice: continue to escalate the conflict, risking total annihilation at the hands of these godlike warriors, or retreat, leaving humanity to rise as a force that could one day rival their own. The Council, for the first time in eons, felt the creeping sensation of fear. But for the humans, fear had transformed into purpose. Each warrior, each protector, knew that this was not just a battle for Earth, it was the beginning of a legacy, a resurgence of a power that had lain dormant too long. And with every victory, humanity grew stronger, their unity a force the galaxy had never before seen. The war gods had returned, and this time, they would not be forgotten. The Alien Alliance, now fully aware of the catastrophe they'd ignited, prepared for a final, desperate attempt to subdue Earth. A colossal fleet assembled, the most powerful and sophisticated warships their civilizations had ever produced, equipped with weaponry capable of devastating entire planets. Their mission was clear: if they couldn't control the war gods, they would destroy them. This was no longer about conquest, it was survival, a last-ditch effort to eradicate what they'd come to view as an unstoppable force. Meanwhile, on Earth, the commander and his warriors sensed the coming storm. They felt the vibrations of the approaching fleet, the ripple of energy in the atmosphere as the alien ships took their positions. Humanity's awakened protectors gathered, prepared to face the onslaught with everything they'd become. They knew that this was their final stand, a moment that would decide the fate of their planet and the survival of their kind. The commander addressed his forces, his voice calm but carrying the weight of ancient wisdom. He spoke of their purpose, the legacy they were reclaiming, and the strength that lay within each of them. This wasn't a battle for glory or power. It was about preserving the bonds they shared, the lives they were protecting, and the freedom they would die to defend. In those final moments, each warrior felt a surge of unity, a connection to one another that transcended words. They were not fighting as individuals, they were fighting as one, bound by a purpose older than any of them could comprehend. As the alien ships descended, the battle ignited with an intensity that shook the heavens. Humanity's war gods met the alien forces head-on, their strength and resilience unmatched by anything the Alliance had anticipated. Energy blasts and advanced weaponry lit up the skies, but the humans moved with supernatural agility, evading and countering each assault. Their blows landed with a force that tore through alien defenses, shattering armor and breaking formations with precision and fury. The aliens fought desperately, yet the humans remained unbroken, their powers amplifying with every strike. The commanders of the alien fleet, watching in disbelief, struggled to maintain order as their forces crumbled. They saw their most elite units fall, their technology fail, and their tactical maneuvers thwarted by a strength that defied all logic. Humanity fought as though guided by an unseen hand, their movements fluid, their strikes relentless. The aliens had never faced an enemy like this, an enemy who fought not only with skill but with an indomitable spirit that refused to yield. In the midst of the chaos, the commander and the alien emissary met once again, this time on the battlefield. The emissary, now witnessing the devastation firsthand, begged for mercy, for a truce that would end the bloodshed. He pleaded with the commander, admitting that they had underestimated humanity, that they had made a grave mistake in awakening the war gods. But the commander's gaze remained resolute. He had warned them once. He would not offer a second chance. With a calm voice, the commander delivered a message to the emissary. Return to your council. Tell them that humanity stands united. We have defended our home, and we will continue to protect it from any threat that dares to rise against us. Leave now, and never return. If you do, there will be no mercy. Defeated and broken, the emissary relayed the commander's message to the alien fleet. In a rare display of unity, the council ordered a full retreat, acknowledging that further conflict would only lead to their annihilation. The Alliance ships withdrew, battered and demoralized, leaving behind the battlefield where humanity had reclaimed their birthright as the war gods. As the skies cleared and the last of the alien ships vanished, humanity's defenders stood together, the weight of their victory settling over them. They had won not just a battle but their freedom. They had proven their strength, their resilience, and their unity to a galaxy that had once dismissed them. The war gods had returned, and they would remain vigilant, protectors of their world and symbols of a power that the stars would remember. The alien alliance, scarred and humbled, carried the tale of the war gods back to their distant worlds. Word spread quickly, turning into legend, a story of the unstoppable human spirit, of warriors who rose from obscurity to challenge the might of the galaxy itself. And from that day forward, the prophecy was no longer a myth. It was a warning. A reminder that somewhere, on a small blue planet, the war gods stood ready, watchful and undefeated, prepared to rise again should anyone dare to threaten them.